虽无法传承给你仙剑神通，却可使你这剑灵感受远古剑意。若我所感不错，上一代羽之剑灵就在潮汐深渊之底。他的父亲若真在这里，若非老子自囚于此，凭你区区灵天后神念，拦我也配。
Renegade Immortal 129. The Three Great Gifts. Zhou Yi bestows upon Wang Lin, the Tao companion of the Cloud Immortal. Appears, Wang Lin faces Tan Lang directly. Ahead, Zhou Yi sat at the center of the formation. His entire body was shrouded in deathly aura, with only a single point of light at his glabella yet to be completely devoured. 4 swords were planted around the formation, 3 suspended spheres of divine sense. Demonic chi from the earth continuously eroded his spiritual body. Wang Lin's voice was hoarse. Senior Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi's eyelids trembled faintly. Behind them, the divine sense of Ling Tianhu broke free, transforming into sword chi and charging forward. At that very moment, Zhou Yi let out a soft sigh. The sword ki instantly dissipated, turning into a sphere of light that returned to the 4th sword. You should leave. Wang Lin laughed bitterly. He had risked his life to come here, sacrificing 6 strands of his primordial spirit, only to receive 3 indifferent words in return. Your heart is already dead. I should not have come. Zhou Yi replied quietly. From the moment Tinga left, my heart died. He had been sealed for several hundred years, allowing the demonic chi to erode him without resistance. Only a single obsession with Tinga preserved the last trace of spiritual light within him. Zhou Yi raised his hand and released a remaining strand of natal sword chi. It pierced through the 4th sphere of light, shattering it and crushing Ling Tianho's divine sense. Countless motes of light fused into Wang Lin's primordial spirit, restoring it and even strengthening it further. You were injured because of me. I will help you recover. Go. Do not return. Wang Lin sighed and tossed back the pagoda from years past. The promise has been fulfilled. Zhou Yi looked at the pagoda and softly called Tinga. Wang Lin stopped but did not turn around. She is not Tinga. If my guess is correct, her name is Qing Shuang. Zhou Yi's spiritual body trembled. The emptiness in his eyes vanished, replaced by icy killing intent. Qing Shuang. Wang Lin turned and silently threw Qing Lin's jade slip to Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi caught it in shock. After scanning it with divine sense, his expression changed drastically. In pain, he murmured, Qing Shuang. Wang Lin spoke calmly. Qing Shuang is the daughter of immortal Emperor Qing Lin, the strongest cultivator of the immortal realm. It is said that when the immortal realm shattered, he fled into a cave abode within this land of monster spirits to heal. Vitality gradually returned to Zhou Yi's eyes. The deathly aura around him churned violently, yet it could not suppress the life force that was recovering. Tinga's father is here. He looked at Wang Lin with urgency. Without seeing him personally, I cannot be certain. Wang Lin shook his head. Zhou Yi whispered, if her father still lives, he could surely awaken Tinga. It was as though he had forgotten that Tinga was now only a corpse. But hope had reignited his will. I must take Tinga to see her father. A flash of light appeared in Zhou Yi's eyes. He shouted softly, scatter. The deathly aura around him struggled before being forced out, turning into strands of black smoke that sank into the formation. His spiritual body became clear like water. He gazed obsessively at the pagoda and waved his hand, summoning an immortal sword, one of the martial immortal swords. Zhou Yi had originally been the sword spirit of the martial immortal sword. His body transformed into light and merged into the immortal sword. Sword ki erupted, filling the entire ravine. The 3 spheres of divine sense shot forward. A cold snort echoed. Natal sword Shi appeared, tearing the 3 spheres apart and devouring Ling Tianhu's divine sense completely. The 4 primordial spirit swords and the entire formation collapsed. The sealed fissure crumbled. Zhou Yi's voice echoed, Ling Tianhu, if my heart had not died, how could your seal have contained me? I am the sword spirit of the martial immortal sword, enduring as long as heaven and earth, inheritor of ancient sword intent. When we meet again, we shall see who is stronger. The 2 men and the sword shot out of the fissure. Zhou Yi manifested upon the immortal sword. Though his expression was weathered, vitality now shone in his eyes. He handed the pagoda to Wang Lin. Help me safeguard it. Wang Lin accepted. Zhou Yi smiled faintly. In a few hundred years you have come this far. Truly gratifying. Wang Lin sighed. Many thanks, Senior, for granting me the Ascendant Star back then. That was payment for protecting Tinga. No need to thank me, Zhou Yi interrupted. If anything, I am the one who owes you. He pondered briefly before asking, there is another immortal sword inside the pagoda. Do you have it with you? Wang Lin tapped his storage bag. The sword housing Xu Liguo flew out. The moment Xu Liguo sensed Zhou Yi's aura, he trembled and hurriedly flattered. Senior, this humble one merely borrowed it temporarily. How would I dare seize it? Wang Lin's expression turned cold. Zhou Yi chuckled. Wang Lin, I cannot pass my divine abilities to you, but I can help this spiritual body comprehend ancient sword intent and allow him to mature into a true sword spirit. Xu Liguo asked cautiously. What is ancient sword intent? You will understand. Zhou Yi grabbed him. A ray of light from his eyes transmitted into Xu Liguo's spiritual body. Xu Liguo trembled and sank into confusion like a nascent soul leaving its shell. Zhou Yi released him, his face turning pale. Direct transmission of inheritance damaged his spiritual body, yet he did not care. Your sword spirit has unstable temperament. I have left an imprint. If he betrays you, the inheritance will backlash. Wang Lin cupped his fists. Many thanks, Senior. Zhou Yi shook his head. If Tinga awakens, what is such inheritance worth? I ask only one thing, help me find her father. After some thought, Wang Lin nodded. Zhou Yi smiled. Holding the immortal sword, he inhaled deeply and struck it forcefully. A strange aura spread out. His face turned deathly pale. His spiritual body nearly dispersed before gradually stabilizing. Senior Zhou Yi, you... Wang Lin was shocked. He had not expected Zhou Yi to damage his origin like this. From today onward, the martial immortal swords number only 3. This one belongs to you. No matter who its previous sword spirit was, or who it becomes in the future, none shall have the right to control it. With that, Zhou Yi threw the immortal sword to Wang Lin. Wang Lin caught it, eyes filled with gratitude. This was the true great gift. The martial immortal swords had originally numbered 4. As long as Zhou Yi existed, even if others obtained one, they could only control it temporarily. Upon meeting him, the sword would return. Even if the white-clad female corpse awakened, she could recreate the sword spirit, inherit the ancient sword intent, and reclaim all 4 swords. But now everything had changed. Zhou Yi, as sword spirit and inheritor of ancient sword intent, had personally erased his imprint from the immortal sword. It was as though an emperor had issued an edict permanently granting part of his territory to another. From this day forward, this sword belonged solely to Wang Lin. Even if the female corpse awakened, even if a new sword spirit appeared, it could not be reclaimed. Moreover, Zhou Yi had transmitted ancient sword intent to Xu Liguo, opening his path toward becoming a true sword spirit. The 2 great gifts combined were no different from granting Wang Lin a chance to stand equal to undying existences across countless cycles of reincarnation. Zhou Yi sighed softly and merged into the immortal sword. At the bottom of the abyss, I sensed the aura of a former generation sword spirit of the martial immortal sword. I will give you a 3rd gift. Go. The immortal sword shot downward into the depths of the abyss of the tide's end. Wang Lin stored Xu Liguo, who remained immersed in inheritance, back into the sword and followed. The aura of a former generation sword spirit, could it be? A thought flickered through his mind. At the bottom lay a winding corridor shaped like the character Hui Hui. At its center was a pitch-black pit into which divine sense could not penetrate. A faint yet continuous suction force emanated from within. Rocks and debris along the edges were constantly dragged downward. Wang Lin took a deep breath. He vaguely understood now the 5,000-year tidal eruption of the Eastern Sea most likely originated from this very place. 5,000 years of accumulation before a single eruption. That suction force was enough to sweep away all living beings. He suddenly felt small. What divine ability could possibly resist such power? Could even all-seer Tian Yunzi accomplish it? Don't stare too long, Zhou Yi warned. At that moment, a faint voice echoed from within Wang Lin's storage bag. Go down. Wang Lin's pupils contracted. Inside the bag, the mysterious painting from Vermilion Bird Planet opened on its own. Purple light shimmered, forming the back of a woman. Go down. Wang Lin sent divine sense. Into this pit. Go down, her voice remained soft. He withdrew his divine sense, pondered briefly, Then followed Zhou Yi. Inside the pit, was it connected to the painting? There is a strange force within the pit that affects the mind. Guard your spirit, Zhou Yi said. The deeper they went, the stronger the suction became. Suddenly the immortal sword halted. Be careful. From the depths, thick purple mist surged upward. Wang Lin's divine sense was restricted to 3 zhang. Even within that range, it was blurred. The suction intensified, yet the purple mist seemed unaffected. A strand of swordlight circled him. Come up. I'll take you out. This mist is too strange. Without hesitation, Wang Lin stepped onto the immortal sword. Immortal energy and sword might envelop his body. Focus your mind. Seal your thoughts. He obeyed. Immortal light flared and the mist parted on its own. Zhou Yi transformed into a rainbow carrying Wang Lin as they pierced through the purple fog. Sword Qi swept past, dispersing it instantly. Their speed was nearly teleportation. Wind shrieked past Wang Lin's ears. His body felt as though a mountain pressed upon it. The immortal sword suddenly spiraled upward. The aura of a sword spirit is ahead. Prepare, I will accelerate. As the words fell, their speed surged again. Overwhelming pressure bore down. Wang Lin sealed his breath, relying solely on immortal energy for support, gripping the sword tightly. Behind them, the roiling purple mist resembled a colossal dragon in pursuit. If this were true teleportation, Wang Lin would not struggle so. But this was not teleportation. It was speed pushed to the absolute limit. The immortal energy around him was compressed and distorted. The immortal sword shot forward with unimaginable velocity, turning the surrounding mist into a sea of churning clouds. It had been a long time since he felt such sensation, not since he first entered the cultivation world. A trace of emotion rose within him. This was the true power of an immortal sword, of a genuine sword spirit. His own sword possessed such potential. It simply had yet to be fully unleashed, as Shu Liguo was not strong enough. Though unstable of heart, Shu Liguo bullied the weak and feared the strong. He could never escape Wang Lin's control. Suddenly the purple mist below churned violently. From the bottom of the pit, a terrifying suction erupted. This time, even the previously unaffected mist was dragged downward. Loose stones from the cliff walls trembled and shot straight into the abyss. In the distance, a massive sword embedded in the cliff quivered, then tore free, pulled downward. Without hesitation, Zhou Yi directed the immortal sword straight into the pit. Combined with the suction, their speed surpassed lightning. In the blink of an eye, they caught up to the golden greatsword. Wang Lin's eyes hardened. He reached out and grabbed it. The instant his hand touched it, a horrifying pulling force surged through him. His body nearly tore free from the immortal sword. Danger was imminent. Wang Lin inhaled sharply. Finger of the yellow springs manifested, spiraling around him. Beneath his fingers, the yellow spring spun like a vortex, generating resistance that slightly weakened the suction. He roared and pulled with all his strength. The greatsword halted, then bit by bit was drawn upward. Zhou Yi bellowed, swordlight exploding as he carried Wang Lin upward toward the pit's mouth. Wang Lin felt as if his body were being ripped apart. Veins bulged across his forehead. But he did not release his grip. To let go meant losing it forever. Finally, under Zhou Yi's force and the resistance of the yellow springs, they escaped the abyss. Wang Lin shouted and gave one final wrench. The massive sword completely broke free from the suction and fell into his grasp. On its pitch-black blade were faintly engraved 2 characters, Ju Fu. Holding Ju Fu, memories flooded back. But before he could reflect further, Zhou Yi accelerated and departed the corridor. The two sped toward the exit of Fire Monster County. Wang Lin glanced at Ju Fu and noticed several subtle clues, details only visible to one at the ascendant stage. Yet now was not the time for study. He stored it in his storage bag. The abyss of the tide's end had yielded abundant harvest. Only the mysterious command token remained unaccounted for. Inside the storage bag, the Wen beast opened its eyes, revealing confusion. The storage bag was normally isolated from the outside world. Without extraordinary divine ability, external events could not be sensed. Yet now it faintly perceived disturbances. It glanced at the sleeping thunder frog beside it, then quietly lay back down. The distance to the exit of Fire Monster County grew ever shorter. At the same time, above the sky of the land of monster spirits, a cloud drifted slowly from the south. The cloud emitted faint immortal energy, concealing immortal lightning within the 9 heavens immortal cloud, rare even in the immortal realm. Upon it stood a pair of Tao companions. The man wore sea-blue robes, long hair flowing jade flute in hand, bearing the aura of an immortal. The woman wore light purple garments, her beauty elegant as an orchid, her gentle gaze resting upon her companion. They were the Dao companions of the cloud immortal Wang Wei and Hu Huan. In the past, together with All Seer and Ling Tianhou, they had entered the land of monster spirits, seized a cave abode, and had not emerged for tens of thousands of years. Their cultivation rivaled All Seers. Their coordination was flawless, even he regarded them with caution. Their origins were mysterious, their Dao age unfathomably deep. They did not contend for power, yet they were absolutely not to be offended. If the old man within Wang Lin's soul banner saw them, he would gnash his teeth, for it was they who had stolen his storage bag long ago. The moment the Nine Heavens Immortal Cloud entered Fire Monster County, within the dragon pool of Heavenly Monster County, ancient demon Beilu, who was in the midst of fusion, suddenly opened his eyes. A glint flashed and vanished. So they have left their cave abode. It seems I must hasten the devouring of the remaining fragmented souls. A trace of wariness flickered in his gaze. Above Fire Monster County, all clouds automatically dispersed. Monster soldiers throughout the cities trembled, yet none dared rise to investigate. A new storm was quietly forming. Before long, the Nine Heavens Immortal Cloud halted above the abyss of the tide's end. The immortal mist gradually dissipated, revealing the two figures descending. The blue-robed man looked down with interest. Interesting. Juana, there is a restriction here. And quite skillful. The purple-clad woman smiled gently. There are few restrictions that capture your attention. A breeze stirred the grass and the hems of their robes. The man nodded. There is ancient restriction art, mixed with a trace of immortal restriction. Not simple. She spoke softly. The ancient restriction art is highly refined, but the immortal restriction is still crude, likely learned not long ago. He chuckled. This must be an inheritor of ancient inheritance. Such refined methods require no less than 1,000 years of cultivation. She shook her head. Not necessarily. He laughed. Testing me. If the one who set this has cultivated less than 1,000 years, I lose. She covered her mouth, smiling. A minor restriction is enough to intrigue Cloud Immortal Wang Wei so greatly. Wang Wei shook his head. It is not merely minor. It contains no killing intent, no murderous aura, merely divine sense guidance. Step into it and the master will know. But that is not what draws my attention. He pointed toward a patch of grass. This restriction is interconnected. Breaking one part is insufficient. Unless all are removed in a single instant, the master will sense it. He raised his hand. The grass flattened, leaving only one blade swaying. Look carefully at this one. Hu Juan focused. Her expression gradually turned astonished. Within the real lies the illusory. Wang Wei nodded and plucked the blade of grass, rubbing it lightly between two fingers. A droplet of emerald liquid separated from it, within which countless restrictions flickered faintly. The blade instantly withered. At least 1,000 restrictions perfectly fused into a single drop of fluid, his eyes filled with admiration. The more ordinary it appears, the harder it is to achieve. This person must have experienced 100 lifetimes. Restrictions rely not on talent, but on temperament. Hu Xuan gazed at him tenderly. I still wager this person has not cultivated for 1,000 years. Wang Wei laughed loudly. Then we shall see. We may as well wait for Tan Lang. And if he sees us, she asked, he would not dare resist. His tone was casual yet brimming with absolute confidence. Tan Lang's movements had long been within their calculations. The mysterious command token as well, they were merely waiting for the right moment. Within the abyss of the tide's end, Zhou Yi's immortal sword carried Wang Lin swiftly toward the exit of Fire Monster County. After several days of flight, only the final fissure remained before they would leave the abyss of the tide's end. Suddenly their speed sharply decreased. Zhou Yi transmitted via divine sense. Something is wrong. There is purple mist ahead, and cultivators within it. This mist can even obscure my sword sense. Wang Lin frowned slightly. An ambush. Could it be Murong Zhuo and the other two? The Wen beast swarm. In another region of purple mist, an enormous swarm of Wen beasts circled in the air. Their eyes burned red, ferocious beyond measure. Their bellies were hollow, clearly starved for a long time. Their long trunks were like sharp swords, their bristling fur like spikes. Some were black, others grey. They surrounded the purple mist, but did not charge in, merely circling outside. as their violent aura thickened. Dried bloodstains marked the nearby cliff. A dim greatsword lay beside it, their trunks collided, sparks flying. The atmosphere felt as if a massacre was about to erupt. Yet each time they nearly lunged at one another, a sharp, piercing screech echoed from deep within the swarm. At that sound, the Wen beasts immediately restrained themselves. Clearly, something was controlling them. The Beast King appears. The Wen beast swarm, long trapped, gradually lost control of its ferocity. Two beasts collided, trunks screeching as they lunged to kill. A commanding cry rang out from deep within the swarm, causing them to hesitate but only briefly. Their bloodlust overcame restraint and they resumed fighting. A second screech sounded. The swarm immediately parted, opening a path. A purple Wen beast, 10 zhang long, slowly emerged. Its violet hue was faint, yet its oppressive aura was terrifying. 7 silver needles were embedded in its head. Subtle vibrations from the needles revealed its agony. It screeched once. The entire swarm trembled. In an instant it lunged at the two fighting beasts. Its trunk struck twice, piercing through their bodies and draining all life force. They withered into dried husks immediately. The Beast King swept its gaze coldly. The swarm screeched in submission, yet within its aura lingered a trace of desolation. Tan Lang within the purple mist. Inside the purple mist, Tan Lang opened his eyes, a smug glint within them. The 7 fiend needles have subdued the Beast King. To control it is to control the entire swarm. If used well, even if that old Ling Tianhu arrives, I will have leverage to negotiate. Tan Lang roamed the starry skies. Wherever treasures appeared, so did he. He had encountered Wen beasts once before on a purple planet within the ancient cosmos. That single encounter left a mark carved into his bones. At the time, he would rather face pursuit than confront Wen beasts directly. This time, trapped within the abyss of the tide's end, he conceived a plan: ambush the Beast King with the 7 fiend needles and control it. The purple mist was part of his scheme. He glanced at the 5 disciples of the great Luo sword sect and sneered. If not for the sword Qi Ling Tianhu left upon you, I would have already used you as sacrificial offerings. The mysterious command token lay somewhere within this purple mist, but it required the right timing and sacrifices. He had waited over 100 years. Wang Lin enters. Within the purple mist, Wang Lin slowly approached. Zhou Yi transmitted, "My sword sense cannot penetrate this mist, but it merely traps, it does not detect you." Wang Lin nodded. At that moment, movement stirred within his storage bag. His Wen beast grew restless, its eyes turning crimson. The instant it was released, it screeched and shot directly into the purple mist, completely unhindered. Wang Lin frowned slightly, but as his mental connection remained intact, he did not stop it. He stepped into the mist. The life imprint spread from his glabella, forming protection around his body. Zhou Yi used sword sense to scout ahead. 10 li ahead is an open space. 6 people. One has very high cultivation. Zhou Yi merged his divine sense with Wang Lin's. Within the mist, 6 figures emerged. Tan Lang. The confrontation. Tan Lang abruptly opened his eyes. Which Dao friend has arrived? This old man is Tan Lang. Zhou Yi immediately withdrew his divine sense. Tan Lang frowned. He had sensed an extremely powerful strand of ancient sword intent hidden within the other's divine sense. On the surface, the cultivation appeared to be only early ascendant stage. But beneath it, there was something else. He did not dare act rashly. Wang Lin's analysis. Great Luo sword sect. Interesting. Wang Lin spoke softly to Zhou Yi. Tan Lang's cultivation is high. The other 5 all carry Ling Tianhu's sword Qi. They have been missing for 100 years, very likely imprisoned here. In one of them I saw joy. For one at the ascendant stage, joy does not arise without reason. That was a plea for help. Zhou Yi looked at Wang Lin, inwardly shaken. Deep scheming, keen observation, decisive judgment. For the first time, he truly regarded Wang Lin with respect. Entering the clearing, Wang Lin stepped out of the mist. 6 pairs of eyes fixed upon him. Wang Lin, one disciple of the great Luo sword sect, recognized him. Killing intent surged. One man enraged drew his sword. It transformed into a black-red demonic steed that charged forward. Wang Lin did not even look. The life imprint formed a barrier. Boom! Slaughter Qi rebounded, surrounding the demonic steed. Shenlong shouted retreat. With a sword gesture, he broke the encirclement and kicked the demonic steed aside. He cupped his fists. "Thou friend Wang, my junior brother was reckless." "It is nothing," Wang Lin replied calmly. Slaughter chi coiled around the opponent's sword. Wang Lin grasped it, erased the divine sense imprint, and stored it in his bag. "Since it was mere provocation, I spare his life. But the sword stays with me." Shenlong's expression did not change. As it should. He turned and sternly ordered his junior brother into silence. A clash of wits. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed slightly. From the moment he arrived, Shenlong had shown no anger whatsoever. Even after losing his sword, he remained composed. This man was not simple. Within the purple mist, killing intent and calculation began to intertwine.